It's going to be a quick video on this one. Wasn't even going to make a video, that's why I'm already glitified. But, so, what I'm going to do is I'm making transition pieces. I laid a little bit of the snap-in laminate flooring in my basement, on my bar area, and I need some nice transition pieces to make that look nice. Now, these transition pieces work really good if you're going from different levels or you're going different floor thicknesses. So, for this one, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going from the actual laminated flooring down to the foam floor that we have laid there. So there's a 1/4 inch gap that I want to kind of make it look nice. So at the store, a 3-foot section of transition piece would be $10. I went and I bought an 8-foot 2x4 for like 6 or 7. I think it was $5.47. Anyways, boom, 2x4. So 2x4. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rip this down into sections. Now, how wide are sections, you may ask? Well, what I did is I took my flooring right here. This is the nice side. It's a 1/4 inch thick flooring. I'm going to leave myself a little extra in case I can always kind of come down and tone it down. I can't add material. So, I'm actually going to do it at 7/16 thickness, and I got a couple of them ripped down. Boom, ripped down right there, 7/16. So, let's get dusty. Alright, so now I've got all my sections ripped down into 7/16. I don't know that rounded edge that's right on the edge of the 2x4, this one right here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use that or not. I'm thinking I will be, but I don't know. So we'll keep that in there as a disclaimer, because you might just want to get rid of that. But so now I'm going to do the the groove in the back where the thing will sit up to. So like I said, it's a 1/4 inch. You're going to want to go just a hair over a 1/4 inch. Maybe not quite 5/16, but I'm going to go kind of in between there, whatever that is in a 32nd, just so that the piece has enough room to kind of go in. And now for how deep I'm going to go, I'm going to go a 1/2 inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 cuts on the table saw. One, I'm going to rip it up this way. I'll have my blade here, and I'm going to rip this, and then I'm going to flip it this way, and I'm going to rip that to get that little groove off there. So when I'm up like this way, I'm going to go 1/2 inch. But the first thing you want to do is you want to figure out where all is. So I'm going to go 1/2 inch this way, and then I'm going to go, and then my blade depth, and yeah, it all makes sense. So 1/2 inch this way, just over a 1/4 inch this way, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So let's just do it. Alright, so I'm going to set my saw depth here. What I'm going to use, I'm going to use the piece of the flooring to get my good depth. So we're going to do that first. We're going to crank that bad boy down. Just going to kind of give her a good look. I want to go just above the flooring level, so it slides in there. I don't want it to be too tight, because if you're too tight, if you know anything about the snapping flooring, you have to it has to have room to move, to expand and contract. So we don't want to make it too tight on this. This one I could go a little bit because it's not really a big area, but so I'm just set barely a 16th, probably, yeah, maybe a 1/2 16th, so 32nd over that. So now that's going to be that groove. So now we want to go a 1/2 inch in there. Is that 1/2 inch, right? Yeah. So now we're going to go 1/2 inch there. Set my guard at a 1/2 inch, and we're going to be ready to rip. After that cut, that's what I just got there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut in this way to actually get this little hunky out of there. So all I'm going to do to set that is you're going to eyeball where that comes in. So basically I'm just going to flip-flop the dimensions that I just put before. So I'll go a 1/2 inch with the blade depth, and then I'll go that just over 1/4 inch this way. So I'll set that up and then we'll just... Alright, so now after you've got them cut to your thickness and you've got those 2 rip cuts done, you should end up with something that looks a lot like this. So, one thing I will say is the way that I showed you is a lot easier than doing it in reverse. So laying it and ripping it flat that way and then doing this is a lot easier than going and then this way. Just something that I picked up because I'm not very bright, and when I'm filming this video I did one and didn't do all of them, so I went and did it in reverse. Also, one thing I'm noticing is that it is a little trickier as your material gets a little thinner to kind of keep it straight. So just take your time. One other thing you could do is you could also use a router and get the bit for it and route that in. I tried that last year, and I just went hog wild with 1/4 inch in. And with this thin wood, I ended up just blowing it to smithereens, and I bailed on that project. So we're back at it this year, and I'm doing it with the table saw because I think it's a little easier. But if you want to use a router, I would say probably safer if you do two or three passes to get to your thickness. Might be a little easier, but I like doing it this way because most people have a table saw, and you can get there. So once you've got this section done, and you're right to where I am right now, you can bring it over to the router. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a beveled edge on this edge right here, and then I'm going to call it good. You can also just put it on a sander, try to give it a little rounded edge there, or just keep it all square if that's what you want. Anyway, I'm going to finish this one edge, sand it down. I'm going to drill some holes in it so I can screw it to the floor, and then I'd be good. I'm not screwing this to the floor, so I'm not going to put holes in it. But then I'm going to paint it up, and we're going to install it. But what I also realized is this, and this might be the way to go. So I said that because of the 2x4 with the rounded edges, so I wasn't sure if I was going to use it. Check this bad boy out, though. That's like ready to go. So it's got rounded on both sides, so that's might be what you want to do. And you know, it's $6 for a 2x4. You rip this off both edges, you get 2. You get 16 foot of transition piece for $6. That's a steal. But if you're doing it how I'm doing it, I cut 1, 2, 3, 4. I've cut 4. I could probably get 6. So I got, math is hard, 53 foot maybe of transition pieces for $6. So either way you want to do it. If you literally just have a table saw, you could just do that. Rip the 2 rounded edges off the 2x4, make that little groove in there, and you're off to the races. So I'm finishing this up. I'll throw it through the router, put the bevel on it, and we'll paint it, and we'll see you later.